This clip is brought to you by VegasWinners.com. Get expert sports betting advice from some of the best handicappers in the world. Head on over to VegasWinners.com and win yourself some money.
Final question for this show. Frank Smith writes in and says, were you involved in the WWE signing of Big E? And if so, what can you tell us about bringing him to WWE?
I can tell you a great story about Big E. I was sitting on a flight, I think from Des Moines to somewhere, maybe Chicago, but on WWE business. I sat down in the first class seat beside this dude, and he knew who I was. And, that hat kind of gives you away. And he's a wrestling fan, obviously, but he's big into Iowa athletics, like a big booster, and loved Dan Gable and wrestling and football. He knew my buddy Bob Stoops is an alumnus of Iowa, and he knew him. So we had a nice little conversation. He said, man, we got this kid at Iowa I think you'd love. He's got a star wrestler written all over him. So he told me about him. I can't even pronounce his name. Started with an E. So Big E's not far from the truth. And he said he's about 6 feet, maybe not quite. He's a D tackle. He's the strongest guy on the team. He makes everybody laugh. He's got a massive personality. And so I asked a few questions I would normally ask. I don't think I was even in that role then. But I got word back to the home office about this kid that we should check into and make inroads. And I think I may have told Jerry Briscoe. And so that led to Big E getting noticed and led him on to building his body of work and his career. And now he's one of the top guys in the whole company. Wow. That's so rewarding to see happen. Have some small little piece of helping a guy get to the next spot. So now I'm sure he's making 7 figures plus a year. He's very well respected within his community. His peers love him. He's good for the wrestling business, and his success can only help others of color, without a doubt. And guys like you and I who are pretty Caucasian, even though I'm Cherokee, we don't think about having. We have role models as kids. All the star wrestlers are white. Vince has done a great job of broadening the scope, of using minorities and intergenders and all that stuff. Whatever, I don't get involved in that shit. Either you're a good wrestler or you're not. Or do you come to work on time? Are you trying to do your job? If you are, then I'm all for you. I don't give 2 shits what your political affiliation is or your sexual persuasion. I don't care. And nobody should care. So that's kind of where I am on that matter.
What a cool story, though, to hear. And to wrap up this Ask Anything with the impact you kind of had, that little piece, like you said, on Big E. And
I got him on the radar.
Yeah.
And the powers that be saw what I saw. This guy had pictures of him. They were buddies. He had pictures of him in his phone. So I got a good look at him. The only thing that he said he might be too short to play D tackle in the NFL, but he's got a great 40 time, means he's athletic. He's got fast feet, strongest guy on the team, which means he's probably bench pressing north of 4. He's just 5'10" or 5'11", something like that. And he came in and blew him away. And he's a good citizen. Every company should have their share of Big E's in it, because he's a good citizen and a good representative of the brand. You need guys like that in your locker room. You need guys that are upbeat and positive and willing to help in your locker room. And so WWE's probably got plenty of them. And so, the Big E's maybe at the top of that list for what I just described. And of course, we got some of our own guys. Chris Jericho's a big leader with us. He's to me, he's one of the MVPs, if not the MVP. But we all, if you're going to be successful, you got to have somebody, you got to have locker room leadership. And we got a lot of good leaders. I mentioned Jericho because he's one of my favorites. He's 50 years old. I don't know how much more he's got left. He surprises me. I'm in shock about him every time I see him. So, he's also a credit to the wrestling business. So all good though, man.
Well,
so we answered all the questions. We did our job.
Speaking of a credit to the wrestling business, JR, you did a phenomenal job, answered all these questions, every single one of them that came in. You hung in there and gave us over 2 hours and 20 minutes of your time this week answering all the questions.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.